What's up, guys? Chris here from Mainly Mesh. Got some natural noises. I guess the window's open, even though it's a cold and rainy day here in Philly, but that means it's a great day for Tutorial Tuesday, and figured I'd jump on Throwing of Strings. Joe from Throwing of Strings video detailing how he tapes his stick. Show you guys how I tape my sticks. I do a very simple tape job, but I picked up a kind of fun trick in high school that I developed after they made the rule stating that you have to have rubber butt ends on your sticks, because I was always a tape guy. So it's straightforward, but it's a little tricky, and I'm also a fan of lacrosse optical illusions, as I like to call them. Something isn't quite as it seems. So I'm going to show you how to do this because it's a really cool trick, and I really like how it ends up. Unnecessary sentence. Alright, here we go. So what you're going to need: bam, shaft. Not a bam shaft. Ripwood shaft. Got this great unfinished ripwood shaft here that I'm trying out. You guys are going to see a lot more from this stick soon. I'm going to do some fun stuff with it, so keep an eye out for that. But so you got your ripwood shaft, untaped butt. I'm pretty sure this was a cut down D-pole, which is kind of cool that it has the double ripwood logo. But need your shaft, obviously. Need some tape. This is just normal athletic tape, like trainer's tape. I usually prefer hockey tape if I'm actually going for a grip. That's what I did in high school, just because it's a thicker cloth tape, and I find that trainer's tape, it's so thin that actually the gooey part, the sticky part of the tape seeps through the tape more quickly and gets onto your gloves and makes your gloves deteriorate a little faster. So I'm more of a fan of hockey tape, but you'll see that I've kind of moved to a more minimalist tape setup, so it doesn't really matter what you use as long as it's a cloth tape. Although I suppose you could use electrical tape, but nah. So, and you're also going to need a rubber butt end. This is some random Reebok butt end that I picked up off of some other shaft. Only requirement about the butt end, or what I would recommend, is that it has one of these little, I don't know how to say, loop or raised edges compared to so one lacrosse butt end. It's just very straight the entire way, and you will see why in a second. So what you're going to want to do, also scissors, and do try this at home because it is safe unless you cut yourself in the face, but hopefully you guys have learned how to use scissors already, although I was never very good with them. So take your butt end, and you're literally just going to chop. So you're gonna start your cut. So as you can see, I've started a little cut here. Then you're gonna put your scissors in through and just try to get a nice, oftentimes I end up still just cutting all from the outside, but you want to do it nice and slowly, because you're going to want an even width without too many choppy edges for when you actually apply the tape. So it doesn't need to be anything fancy. You're just going to want it right about the width of the butt that you are applying. So here, I'll show you quickly what the I should probably start over this video and do it more cleanly, but I've already cut the butt end, so we're going for it. So this is kind of the finished product. This is just an all tape butt, a little bit smaller than I normally use, so just so you guys know what we're going for, we're trying to simulate this, or emulate. Don't have it in my vocabulary today. Trying to mirror this this taped butt with a rubber butt. So, second step, apply butt end to shaft. Hey. Look at that. Step 3, you're going to want to start taking some smaller segments. So if it's a roll of hockey tape, about a half a width. If it's a roll of trainer's tape like this, about a third of the width. And you're just going to want to I call it, what do I call it? Not stationing. Man, my vocabulary is atrocious today. So you're going to essentially do a bunch of these little sections of tape. So you can actually, I usually pre-cut a bunch just so I can speed up the process a little. So you're going to want to make a bunch of these about 1.5 inch long pieces of tape. That's what I'm doing down here where you can't see. Whenever I string or tape or do anything, I tend to balance it on my lap. So it's not very conducive to making tutorial videos. So if you guys notice with the live blade stringing that I did, perched my iPhone on top of that cupboard back there and shot everything from there. But so you're going to want to take these little strips of tape and attach it to the butt end and then down the side of the shaft. And I recommend going on opposite sides. I'm going in 4s here, and pulling down on opposite sides, because what can happen is if you yank down only on one side, like if you try to just go around the circumference in one go, you can end up pulling down one side of the rubber butt end more than the other. Very minor issue, but for someone like me who's really into symmetry and keeping everything as even as possible, it's just a little aesthetically displeasing when your butt is crooked. Every once in a while you have one of those double entendres in lacrosse and you haven't really heard it before, and you're like, you know what, I gotta laugh that one out. I've heard all of your immature jokes about shafts and butts and sticks and heads, but that was a new one. Good job. Maybe that should be the sequel to Crooked Arrows, is Crooked Butts, the movie. This is why I should edit my videos. So, one more. Once you get all that taped up. Also, so you guys know, a reason I don't like doing editing on my normal videos like this, I mean, I should probably edit a tutorial, save you guys some time, but I kind of like you guys doing things as at the same time that I'm doing them in terms of tutorials. And also for the other videos, I also transparency is just something I really value in life, and so I like you guys seeing me as I am, whether that be sick or tired or grumpy or incoherent or whatever that may be, because lacrosse is a very natural game, so I prefer you to see me in my natural state. Some good deep spiritual stuff to start your morning. Okay, sorry. So next step, you're going to want to take just about the same size tape. I'm just ripping off a new section so I don't waste too much tape. So that same size strip, and you're going to want to start circling the butt end right beneath the lip. That's what I was looking for. It has a lip. And so I just like getting it all pulled out, running it around a bunch, and then you're just going to do this until you reach, normally the rule of thumb for me is until it reaches the same width as the lip. If anything, you actually want to go a little bit wider than the lip of the butt, because the tape will compress over time, and it can feel a little awkward if you just have the lip of the butt, because what we're trying to mirror, obviously, is just the purely taped butt end. And this is also a particularly small butt end. So squeeze it all together. So now you can start seeing everything coming together. And what you're going to want to do one more time is, oh boy, I got a whole mess of tape in the middle here. Clean that up. Maybe I'll make a long version and a short version of this. Yerba mate. And you're going to want to go through and actually repeat the same stitching process. I can't believe I am blanking on the word for that. It's not bracing. You do it when you tape ankles too. It's providing support with tape. Gosh, a word is gonna kill me. And you're gonna wanna secure it one more time. I started when I was kind of experimenting with this. I started doing it. First, I did it with none of these little support pieces of tape, and the butt actually would fall right off. Next, I did it with just the supports underneath, and I didn't like the kind of harsh transition into the butt end, and so then I tried it on top, and it was a little bit better, but it also was a little weaker, and the butt slid around, so it did a nice little Goldilocks theory for taping, and just did it once on top, once underneath, and that's kind of the groove I fell into. And you'll see it creates a really nice tapered effect into the tape butt end. I used to roll up tape so the sticky side was facing out, and use that to kind of ease into the butt end, but it took a little extra time, and I don't know, I think this way is a little bit smoother, and a little bit more secure. So the main goal of this is to have your friends look at it and be like, dude, how did you do that? Be like, I don't know, man, I'm a genius. I just took a butt, and then I taped it, and then it was like a taped butt. But it's legal, though. This probably isn't helping the argument or the wow, I can't remember my words today. The conspiracy that I'm clinically insane, that you guys have been passing around. Oh, Mainly Mesh is nuts. Yeah, I'm nuts, okay? What do you want me to do about it? I'm coping. You should cope too. One more. You guys are champions for making it through these videos. 20-minute long video on Mark Mesh. 16-minute long video on Hold or whatever that was. Haven't even finished the butt end yet. We're at 14 and a half. Unreal. I think I will make a condensed version. So, as you see, everything's... Sorry. Stupid lights. Ow! Oh! Burned myself. Everything's starting to come together, and you can see that nice gradual taper. So, quickly finish it off, all you got to do is take that same width of tape that you were using before. Actually, I'm going to do this a little bit differently. I like mixing things up a little. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a nice swath of tape, it would be a full roll of hockey tape, about 2/3 of a roll of your normal athletic training tape, which looks something like this. Okay, and you're just going to do your very stereotypical go around once, only once, and then start slowly progressing down, tightening it up, sealing everything up as you go down. Bam. Seal it all up, and you have a gorgeous looking knob. Hold on, let me see if I can turn this light off. This is getting ridiculous. Very straightforward. You've got a knob, tapers very gently right here. But look, there's a butt end on the end, perfectly legal. The main difference, people would ask, oh, why don't you just use the full butt end? Because that butt end would actually jut out to about here or so, and I don't like that extra width. So what this does is you'll feel it, just tapers right down into the bottom of your hand. I don't like taping anything higher up because I think you can get more leverage all the way down. High school legal, college legal. I also, on my gamers, I add a little piece of tape. I just take a thin piece and roll it around, so there's just a little extra tape in the middle. I use that for when I shoot, so I want this distance to be my shooting distance, and then I like it in between my first two fingers, and so that's a good shooting distance for me. It doesn't quite follow the whole elbow rule. I like it a little bit lower than that. But for the elbow rule, it's about your pinky, and that's where you pass, or in between my middle two fingers, or bottom three. And so no matter how I want to do it, there's tape there. I've kind of moved away from tape because living in Maine, tape is great when it's really cold outside, but at the beginning of the season, it's frozen outside. By the end of the season, it's up to 80, 90 degrees. And so I like something that I don't have to change. What I used to do is I used to use all this candy cane swizzle stuff for the first half of the season, and then I would take it off. Sorry, I'll let you guys see me again. And then I would take it all off once it got hot enough, and then I'd be readjusting. So what I like to do is get a stick with a good amount of grip, which is why I like these ripwoods. Got nice defined edges, as you can kind of see there, which make for great grip with or without gloves. So I don't like adding too much tape there. I like to keep all the weight off, but I still like a good old tape butt end. I'll show you one more. I did Plasti Dip one, like East Coast Eyes does. Came out pretty well for the first time. It's pretty fun. Adds a little bit extra weight, whatever. It's a fun project. I wouldn't recommend it if you play barehanded. I also don't recommend playing barehanded, but if you like a material that's going to be consistent in all types of weather, it's worth giving a shot. Just a fun little project to do. And so it was the same, as you can see, same type of butt end here. Although nope, there is a butt end in this one, I think. Can't tell. So that's about it. That's how I take my sticks. I'll keep this long unedited version up, and then I think I'll make a quick little edit to speed you guys through things, for those of you who don't want to watch a 20-minute video. Thanks a lot for watching, guys. No discount code at the end of this one, unfortunately, but I'll catch you guys next time.